Ow! Fighting Spirit Wrestling fans, I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. Legends Never Die was an awesome show at St. Bernard School in the Bergen Beach section of Brooklyn, New York. Without further ado, here were the results. The show kicks off with a six-man tag team match as Magma and Milk Chocolate, Brandon Watts and Randy Summers, defeated Chris Rex and the Snot, Rude Boy Riley and Logan Black. Miscommunication on the part of Rex and Snot resulted in their team being defeated. Next matchup saw Sidney Cloud defeat Joey Janela. I'd definitely like to see Janela back at FSW in the future. Next up, we saw the opposition, Jason Nevins and Superstar Whiplash, defeat Malice Oceans and Greg Jones of Omega Black to retain the Tag Team Championship. In another six-man tag team, the newly formed House of Pain, Big Daddy Dre, Hakeem Ali, and Nick Payne defeated Nutrius X, Gino DeGod, and Sasha Jenkins in a very good six-man tag team match. It seemed to me for most of that match the crowd was kind of dead. Up next, Indestructible Joey Tell, or is it Etel, defeated Firebird Jorge Santi in a no disqualification matchup. Great to have Santi back in FSW. I don't know if he'll be back on a regular basis. Up next, we saw Juventud Guerrera defeat the Machine Sam Shields, Greek God Papa Don, Hellfire Ian Aldwin, and Benny Martinez to win the Primero Championship. Fans were really behind Hoovy in this matchup, and during the matchup, Ian Aldwin got a little carried away, and three members of the security force came out telling him to stop, and they were going to take him away, but then Aldwin attacked all three of them, and surprisingly, I thought he was going to go back to the match. Instead, he decided to leave on his own will. But Juventud Guerrera captured the Primero Championship. Then it was intermission time, and many on the show came out for meet and greet. When intermission ended, the show resumed with Blue Demon Jr. defeating Suntan. Blue Demon, I think, took the microphone after the match, and I forgot what he had said. Next up in tag team action, Chavo Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero Jr. defeated the SAT, Joel Will Maximo, who had not teamed up in quite some time. After the match ended, the Snot, Rude Boy Riley, and Logan Black attacked the Maximo brothers, in which the Guerrero family then made the save until Omega Black comes out. And then out from the crowd came the tag team champions, the opposition, to help clear the ring. Joel Maximo takes the microphone and says, you know, you guys want to talk about factions? Well, we're forming our own faction. And he even asked Juventud Guerrera to come out, and Joel proclaimed themselves the Latin World United and challenged Snot and Omega Black to a steel cage match in August. I don't know if that's going to be at St. Bernard's or if it'll be back at the Ludus Wrestling School. But obviously, things will be coming in the days and weeks to come. And then in the main event, the Man of Steel, Mike Verna, defeated Talon to become the new FSW Heavyweight Champion. Very good matchup. I'm sure they'll have a rematch somewhere down the line. And, you know, this is a great building to do a show in, and sure hope they come back to St. Bernard's in the future. I guess it's time for the personal notes. Great seeing Mike McNicholas, Miguel Ortiz III, Ira. I noticed so many, mostly fans of the show, were obviously friends and family members of Man of Steel Mike Verna, and they were yelling for Verna all night, as most of us figured they would be doing, and what a huge pop he got. Well, there are a few things I have to address. I think selling beer may not have been a good idea. I noticed one particular individual poured beer on Talon when he was standing right in front of him. Some of those Verna fans or / friends or family members of Verna were like leaning on the guardrail, and I don't know. They may need to add more security if another show is done in that building. I also have to say, The show ran pretty late. I mean, it was almost midnight when I got out of the building. I know it's an odd question, but do you think it would help if a bus trip could be arranged from the Ludus Wrestling School all the way to St. Bernard's if there's a future St. Bernard's show? I mean, I don't know how late those city buses run. Gourmet Grill on Avenue N has some great food and definitely a lot of beautiful women working in that place, and there were definitely some beautiful women at the very show. I noticed one that was in a wheelchair. I don't know if she's paralyzed from the waist down, or she has some kind of, or she just has or she was not born with the ability to walk. She sure looked pretty too. I'll tell you that. Couldn't believe Suntan came to me just as the show was ending, wanting a bit of a peek ski of what I was going to say in this particular video. Benny Martinez, I'm still waiting for you to send back NPP. Hellfire Ian Aldwin really needs a challenge. Maybe it'd be something if someone like Sandman, Balls Mahoney, Axel Rotten, or even Mikey Whipwreck was brought in to wrestle him. I mean, it's like he's being built as this crazy psycho, and it's like he seems to be uncontrollable. Oh, here's some. I noticed in attendance, longtime NYWC manager Crusher Dugan, as well as Damian Darling, were in the attendance for this show. Darling would make a great fit to FSW. Dugan, maybe let him manage somebody in that promotion, because I think with the exception of PJ Stackpole, there's not really any managers in FSW at this time. We all know managers are a lost art in the company. Bonesaw Jesse Brooks was in attendance. Wow. Hats off to FSW for putting this show together. And I know it was titled Legends Never Die, but a legend was born, and that was in the form of the new FSW Heavyweight Champion, Mike Verna. Funny story, I was waiting for the bus after the show. Some of his friends, or family friends probably, their car was waiting for the traffic light to change, and Verna's theme, which is Avenged Sevenfold's Hail to the King, was blasting out of their car. Who knows how drunk they were, or how drunk they would end up being. That was definitely quite a moment. Mike McNichols, I don't know why you chant Granny Panties at Sidney Cloud. I mean, you're actually looking at them? Oh, man. Well, I don't know how much money it cost FSW to bring in the Guerreros, Juventud, and Blue Demon Jr. I would definitely I don't know if he still wrestles, but I'd like to see maybe Super Callow or Super Crazy for a show. I mean, Super Callow had probably the most coolest wrestling mask I had seen back in the days of when WCW was around. Definitely, as I said before, FSW was great, and what a show this was. Ow!